Welcome, one and all, to this broadcast of logic. The needs of the many of our fans will outweigh the needs of the few of our fans, which is true. Actually.
Or the one.
Or the one, yeah. That guy, Jerry. You know Jerry Stewart, don't you? It's always fucking Jerry.
Yeah. I was thinking more Joseph Petrick, but that's okay. Or Eugene.
Went straight to reality. I was trying to be in... There's an ad playing. There's an ad playing. Oh, see, I have our live stream on. As it started, an ad played. So they're getting a free ad.
Are you serious?
Yeah. They're getting a free ad.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Weird. How you doing, Stuart? How's your day been?
Oh, it's been alright.
Not seen you for hours.
I know, right? We were filming not that long ago. With a guest.
On a Trekyards Originals, which is something we really do quite enjoy doing. Looking at, I mean, we've done what? Getting close to 10 at this point.
Originals, I'd say we were at 10 at least, yeah.
You know, it is really special to be able to take those fan concepts and have them realised. And Barry Chapman, as you know, our in-house modeler, you know, the teamwork factor and just been to create something so cool. I mean, it is something special. You know, we have now each had a ship art of ourselves. I know I've always done other ships for fan films. Like, it's a whole different experience to actually design a Trek ship, and all these people. Well, I guess I legally have to say all of them have great ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really nice. So if you guys have we've got 2 more in the pipeline now. But if you want to have a ship featured on the show in a full flashy way, and you got some budget, because you know we do it the proper way, then email trekyards@hotmail.com, because it's a really cool thing to do, and honestly I feel like it's a sort of an honor, you know. It's fun.
And Jill is asking how the audio is for everyone, and Jim says it's good there. Joseph says it's good. So, Jill, I don't know what the problem is. You might want to hit refresh, maybe.
Yeah.
And Joseph Petrick. Not that we haven't heard his name yet already today. He showed up. He said the cheap guy is here. Live long and prosper, guys. Well, thank you very much, Joseph.
He showed up. Thanks, Joseph. So yeah, Stuart, what are we talking about? Well, what is not the correct verb? It's not a verb. What's the...
I don't know. I'm not good with that.
No.
Adjective.
Pronoun.
No. Noun. No. Yeah. I don't know.
Quasar.
Right. Quatlu. Yeah, we're talking about the Spock. Because we got yesterday.
Oh my goodness!
We got this image of Ethan Peck as all shaved and wearing his uniform. It's like, why did you release this before showing it? Should have been.
How many times was this sent to you? Be honest. Rough estimate.
7.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah. I'm a little less than that, but you know, boy, there's a couple of fans that are so. They just see this stuff. I think Forrest is one of them.
They're looking out for us because they always send us this stuff.
Yeah. And this one, Stuart, I'll back you up on that. I think this is one of those things that we knew was coming. We said very early on, as either season end payoff or I guess maybe next episode. But it would be a great actual reveal. I'm disappointed in them to reveal it, and for a cruise. Yeah.
And they couldn't wait a week or two.
Two.
Really? Well, no. Even if it's in this upcoming episode, they couldn't have waited just till like Friday. Like, seriously?
Because that would have been a great press photo to release after.
Yeah.
And obviously we got some people saying. To be fair, if I could have chosen not to see it, I would have chosen not to see it. I'll be honest. But it got sent to us straight away, and then you've seen it. It's like the Enterprise bridge that I was shown a little bit ahead of time. It's like I tried not to. Like, I sort of knew it was coming, but I tried not to see it. I know other fans haven't necessarily seen it, but you know, it was posted on the official Trek Facebook page. You can't get more public than that. The biggest page of Trek on the biggest social media platform. And so we kind of feel, while we're going to talk about it and talk about Spock in general, because this is, if we're getting as close to TOS Spock as possible, then let's go back and talk about other Spocks, because Spock has an interesting legacy.
Yeah, he definitely does. He's been played by enough actors. Even in the prime movies and things, because you got the different Spocks in Star Trek 3 and so many different incarnations of Spock. So
I think there was a convention once that had a like, I think in the 90s or something, had a great promo at it. Said, yeah, we've got 5 Spocks. And it had a panel of all five Spock actors. And it's like, yep, I was Spock for 22 seconds. I was Spock that other. I had 3 lines. I was Spock and I had 8 lines. I was Spock and I had sex with the lady. Great. You know, we're all Spock our own way. And it's like, yep.
Yes. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, if you want me to vamp a little bit while you share this, then we will get into this discussion, because I got a few things I want to ask you. Okie doke. So, hey guys, hopefully, Jill, I hope that your sound is better now. That finger is the mirror version of his finger. The other finger is trapped there. Yes.
Yeah, I did Photoshop it out of the picture, and I didn't. You know, yeah, it's not the perfectest Photoshop ever, but it's all right.
Yeah, it looks kind of wonky, man. He's going through some kind of Vulcan once every 11 years thing. I don't know what it is. It's Vulcan herpes. Once every 11 years shows up and his finger gets all distorted, I guess. I don't know. And it's good it's every 11 years, because it misses the 7-year cycle, so it doesn't pass it on, hopefully. Yeah, it's great that way. I like the blue uniform, says good old gamer, and I would too if it wasn't for that stupid dumbass collar. That really is distracting and annoying. The right side of his neck, the one closest to his hand, is beautiful. Just to do that all the way around, and it would be like, wow, that's a nice uniform. That's smart looking. But not so much. It looks awful. Don't know. Sorry, whoever did the costume design for it. I'm sure you know your job well, but you did a shit job. Sorry, official Trekyards. You did a shit job from Captain Foley. Audio is good. All right, good. I bought 3 of your Romulan shirts. I love them. Oh, you got 3 of the Romulan pinups. I haven't even seen anybody buy a Romulan pinup. My buddy Tom Grossman bought the Andorian and the MRES one, but not seen anybody have the Romulan ones. You'll have to send us a picture. Put it on the Trekyards Facebook page on Facebook, or send it to us direct message, or even email us at trekyards@hotmail.com. So I would love to see them. But getting 3 of them, man, that's awesome. Thank you. It's still transitioning to TOS, not a full shift right away. I know, but the collars, stop. I mean, for Discovery, they would have been fine, but to try to make that transition to the color of TOS with that collar still, it's like, no.
Or they say transitioning to TOS and yet ignoring Cage. It's like the Cage didn't have that collar, so this is the between Cage and TOS collar. But
yes.
Then the Discovery. But again, that's not the point. I mean, those things are long since lost those battles, and we're sort of, I think, grateful for any battle we can win when it comes to Discovery art team and art design, because small victories. Why the D7 is such a wonderful surprise, because they just designed D7. They
didn't even have to do any designing. They just had to improve it a little bit and modernize it. Yeah, details. It's all in the details.
As I think I'm going to say a lot of this next episode, it's not rocket science. And actually, Stuart, as a present to you, I'm actually going to Photoshop out the guy's collar.
Ooh,
if I can.
Please do.
Just try and help us out a little bit.
And then we'll spread it around on Facebook and see how far it gets. Say new collar revealed.
Collar revealed.
Only not officially Trekyards branded. Say that. Just see how far it gets. I'll share it on Twitter and stuff.
Oh dear.
But okay, so my question for you, my first question was, here we got Ethan Peck as Spock.
Sure.
Awesome. Now, with all your vast Trek knowledge and smartnesses, and knowing how they've done things so far, do you think this is going to be in this next episode or the last episode? Do you think that Spock is going to go across the Enterprise with Pike? Because there is that one one scene where Michael Burnham's like waving to like a ship. You can see it in the reflection, and it looks very pointy. It looks like a Vulcan ship. So could it be that the Sarek part of the beginning of the trailer, Spock is going to see Sarek and then comes back for the last episode, or you think Spock's going to be here the whole time and go across with Pike, and you're going to see this episode this week, or is it a next week thing?
Are you asking me as a filmmaker or as a someone who sort of thinks Discovery, if that makes sense? Are you saying what would I do, or what would the show do?
What do you think they're gonna do? What do you think they're gonna do?
I think maybe Pike will say, "Spock, I need you," and he'll say, then he gets a communication from his dad, and it's like, "I must deal with this first," or something. It's like, I think there's there's something Sarek involved. I think it's got to be a last episode sort of fun reveal, just like with last season we got the final episode, the final image, and so even if it's just like Star Trek 6 again, reference at the end with the two ships parting ways, and you see Spock on the bridge with Pike, he's in the uniform, he walks in and say, "To a great commander, to a great captain," they both ships fly apart. Could be an easy reference, an easy win for the show, though. So I think they'll probably say it for the last episode, and then hopefully it'll be in the episode in the entire time. But contrived, I think Pike could also, if he's going over and becoming uniform, he would want Spock to be in uniform with him, and he would say, "Get a uniform, Spock. Are you ready to don the uniform again, Spock?" "I am, Captain."
For Christ's sake, shave.
Well, yes. And there you go, Stuart. Check the stream when it's done.
All right. Well, I gotta say, I'm really hoping that it's the next episode, this upcoming one.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that it's going to be one of those things that's going to be saved at the last minute. Spock's either going to need to help Burnham, go over to his Section 31 ship, or do something stupid, or go see his father, or I'm hoping for the best, but expecting what they're going to give us.
Well, I think the basic thing is we would like them to go sort of full toss for the last bit. Embrace it and give us 2 full episodes of Pike in the captain's chair as Toss.
That looks better.
There you go. You're welcome. Pike is Pike. All these things. It'd be great to have him in the last 2 in the full way. But what do you think about his look? His look. Do you now think casting was on point? I mean, I know we've been sort of taking it one episode at a time, but now this is what it looks like theoretically. Unless it's the most epic Photoshop ever.
Yes. Wolfsbane Network puts in $1, so thank you. But I gotta say, he doesn't look as baby-faced as I expected him to. I've seen the actor just on stage with the rest of the crew answering questions or whatever, and he just doesn't look like Spock. Here they've got the lines in his cheeks, and as Jill said earlier in the chat, they didn't Photoshop in the cleft chin, but got a little bit of it there. He still looks odd. Like, I need to see him move and talk, because it doesn't look like Ethan Peck. It does not look like
which is good.
The actor.
He's a character. He's a Spock. Hey, Spock.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like Spock either. I don't know. It's odd. It's better than I anticipated, but not as good as I think it should be. If that makes any goddamn sense.
Now, do you mean that in the sense that because the actor was a wrong choice, or just they didn't change the actor's face enough? Like, what do you mean by that exactly? Do you wish they'd done more prosthetic-y stuff to his face, to add makeup to make his face longer if it needed to be? What do you mean by that? Or just different actor you wish now?
No. Ethan Peck, I think, is fantastic. He is amazing Spock. That being said, I do need to see him Spock while he looks like this.
Go full really Spock.
To get a feel for that.
Yeah.
But he needs the eyeliner. He needs the makeup that they had in the 60s to give that more of that Spock look, I guess. I don't know, to be fair. And then Spock in the original series had a bit of a green tint, just a slight little green tint to his skin because, of course, of the copper-based blood, right? They haven't done that at all. They haven't done that at all in this show, which is a shame, because it's just the slightest little thing, and you can see it a lot in TOS. It's not always very noticeable, but every now and then you can tell. Especially the one where But anyway, they're shirtless. Him and Kirk in the prison cell, and they were whipped. So they have their shirts off, and you can definitely tell that there's a difference in complexion in that way. So I don't know. It's like I said, it's better than I anticipated, so I'm happy about that. But it's not Leonard Nimoy. I mean, it's never going to be, obviously. I was thinking that a few weeks ago, watching TOS, going, no one ever will capture Spock the way that Nimoy did. It's his thing, right? No one even comes close, even to that look.
There's a reason,
except for some cosplayers that are actually spot on that they should have got.
There's a reason why some of these actors are not only synonymous but legends. They took a role which could be played by anybody, as we've now seen, and they live it. And as we know from multiple behind the scenes, that Nimoy actually was in character. He thought he couldn't necessarily go in and out of character, so he stayed as Spock in TOS in between scenes, and it made him difficult to approach by his cast members. He wasn't friendly, he wasn't negative by any means. That's not who Spock is, but he had to stay repressed and all that stuff, and it made a work environment less positive. Although it's funny then to see some bloopers of him actually cracking up, because I guess sometimes that does break you. He took it seriously. He took the idea of it seriously. But there's just such depth and elegance to the man's performance. And I think my thoughts about this costume choice. Now with the change of this the collar, I mean, in terms of a Spock, I think this is as good a 25% different, if that's sort of the general consensus. We want to make it a bit different artistically. It's not just copying it. I don't think this is wrong in any way. I mean, he's proved himself as an actor. This is why obviously there's a consensus, I think, in the fandom that he has been done well. Pike has been done well. It'd be good to see, as we've both said, not a series, that's too far, but a mini-series. 6 episodes, 60 minutes each. Give us one really good story. 6-episode arc, 3 movie length, Hobbit, but whatever. And let them really be the people they're born to be, at least the characters. Because as you say, we see a lot of almost Spock, but there's only glimpses of in uniform, ready to play sort of Spock, and I guess we we get to see a bit of that. And that's why, as we said earlier, it'd be nice to see him in this uniform the entire time in the next 2 episodes, so we just get full on. They committed, they got there, boom,
Yeah, absolutely. Powell, I don't want to even try pronouncing your name, but thank you. You put in a super chat, much appreciated.
Thanks, sir.
With no comment, but thank you. And Mike Tamburini puts in £2.
Thank you.
Up for a Pike Enterprise spinoff. Well, I think the commander just answered that question. Yes, we would love to definitely see something like that. Because I'm in love with Pike. I think Pike's amazing. I actually like Pike from the JJ films as well.
Oh, how can you not?
Just the way he's just the way he's portrayed, the actors they use. It's just wow. And now we've got like this whole season of seeing Pike being Pike. And it's not just the cage. It's not just this little glimpse of this character. It's brought the character to life. So yes, I would love to see more of that. Hands down.
The only big problem with a full Pike show is that there aren't stakes because everyone lives. There isn't that same sense of anything. And while the heroes survive, there is a difference between seeing any established character in a show. It's a different sort of vibe, however far you go tension wise. That's why it was a really spoilers. That's why it's amazing when Kirk's son dies. That doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
What?
To actually kill off a lead who's well liked, I think, from the first film.
When did Kirk have a son? Who are you talking about?
That was quite
Did
ballsy.
I miss something?
And wow. So most of the time they're safe, but when they're not, they're not. Although obviously you could just do. Wouldn't it be great if Spock had 2 resurrections? The first time in the Cage era, but he forgot all about it because he was resurrected. The second time he remembered because of. It's like, yes, let's reuse that plot point. Great.
Oh no, don't do that. No. Yeah. And Captain Ron Phillips puts in $2. Thank you very much, Captain. I swear he looks like a young Hugo Weaving. Put sunglasses on him and maybe.
Hugo Weaving's cousin.
Mr. Kirk.
And guys, do super chat to have your comments read out, to have your thoughts put out, and just to support the channel, because we're kind of relying on these chats to support the channel and have fun times, because you guys have noticed that we're a lot more bouncy when we have interaction with the fans. You know, we can talk amongst ourselves for a while, but to sort of have really dynamic conversations, we need fan interaction. So whatever you want to say it.
It's gotta, be fantastic, you fans out there. But I got kind of lambasted for this earlier.
Oh, that's a great word.
think
lambasted.
Lambasted, yeah.
Cool word.
I think that Ethan Peck makes a better Spock than Zachary Quinto. Are you still there? Did you hear me?
Lambasted, Quinto, yes, we heard you. Now why? Because I don't think that's a radical statement at all, but I'm sure Peel might. Talk us through the thought process there.
Well, when I first saw Quinto in 2009, I thought,
and
okay,
actually,
fine,
if you give me like 40 seconds, I'll be putting a picture of him just to kind of.
Yep.
If you like deal with the chat for 1 second, I'm pretty much done with my picture collection here. But I thought if I grab a picture of Quinto, which Quinto do you want? Do you want Beyond Into Darkness or 09? Because I've been doing all three as I've been going.
Go 09, I guess. Sure.
Okay, I'll get some classic 09.
Yeah. Anyway, when I saw him in 2009, I thought, wow, brilliant casting, excellent. The crew all looks good, you know, and that was the best part of that movie.
Quinto casting.
Yeah. The cool thing with Quinto is he got to hang out with Leonard Nimoy and kind of really get a feel for the man and the character. He got kind of the inside scoop, which unfortunately I don't think Ethan Peck got at all.
Do you even think he got to speak to Quinto? You know, the sort of grandfather knowledge down. I wonder if he did.
So you got to wonder, did Quinto get a mind meld from Mr. Nimoy? Pass on that Spockisms. Anyway, no, I feel like Quinto, after watching his performance in 3 movies now, doesn't have the gravitas anywhere near Leonard Nimoy to be Spock. And this is bad writing and bad direction, but he's too emotional. He's too soft, like he doesn't have the hardness of Spock, the stiffness of Spock, I guess. He's too emotional. He looks like a caricature of the character. He looks like a cartoony version to me. He's kind of too, I don't know. Yeah, he's a parody or a caricature of the character more so than Ethan Peck. I mean, Ethan Peck's acting for Spock is spot on, but I haven't seen him as Spock yet doing that, right? Quinto he has this like Funko Pop look.
Isn't the idea of the caricature though basically what they were going for? In very simplistic terms, supercharging everything to the point of action, adventure, and drama, to the point that, you know, I think. Well, double referring now, if you recall the great interview going out with Leonard Nimoy, who said an interview, like it was in the 80s after the motion picture, he was saying how the neck pinch was developed, given that classic tale, and he said that, you know, it was in the script that I beat him up, and he argued against that. He understood the character, the everything, and he meant the neck pinch, and then saying that, you know, even films and TV in his day, too much violence when, you know, the great thing about Star Trek is he thinks it through. And then the thing hard cuts to, you know, the same character Spock punching Khan on a moving
many
thing,
times,
absolutely going apeshit. The exact opposite, and it's just like J.J. Abrams, you didn't understand any of it. You just didn't. It was, as I said before, wrong choice. Great filmmaker, mostly worst possible choice for that franchise. You couldn't have hired anyone worse. Even Rian Johnson probably done a better job, because it would have been so alternate universe. It would have been like, damn. Weird but cool. And he's a crap as well. It just shows that, you know, they just don't understand. And it's just fascinating to have the guy that originated it, who was, you know, that is Spock versus modern Spock punching, and then obviously they cut to Ethan Peck doing his punchy. Although that was based on the trailer of the episode, whereas in the actual episode you see Ethan Peck does a wonderful like. A fluid movement of action, neck pinch, done. It's not fighting so much as tactically
Or like Vulcan Kung Fu, like they talked
Yeah.
about, that Vulcan martial arts.
But each one is a neck
Fluid.
pinch, so I had no problem
Yeah.
with that. It's not violence in the same sense as a punch out. I mean, you can't always walk up to the guy behind him and neck pinch him. Sometimes has to be something. So I'm not at all against the way that. I think actually they could have, they could have gone that route, and the fact that they restrained themselves, or at least went that 25% different, which is kind of a relatively good rule for the show. What's the name of Spock's appearance in TNG? Gonna get screen caps from that now.
Unification.
Thank you.
Jill Wright puts in $2 and says,
Jill.
loved your 2 videos from earlier today. Optimistic. What did we release today?
Yeah, I can't release them out of order as well. Today we released Timeline Reset in Discovery, and then yesterday we released Section 31 Done For in Discovery Season 2.
Ah, yes. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you.
We do try to be optimistic. We don't try to be negative Nancy's all the time. I said negative Nancy. Yes, I did. Matthew Robbins puts in $1 with no comment, but thank you very much, Matthew. Greatly appreciated. And Clivoid puts in $5. I'm still not sold on Peck being better than Quinto, and that's fair. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinions, and I'm not either. Like I said, I got to see him Spock as Spock, right? But from what I've seen of him so far in Discovery, I'm really enjoying the character. I think he does a fantastic version of it. So, yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. But right now, I've seen enough of Quinto. I'm done with Quinto. I'm not a fan of his Spock, personally.
Well, I think Quinto harnessed a more science-based, talky, commanding vibe. Ethan Peck has managed to break down the character and actually pull out that deeper level of Spock that Quinto didn't even close to get to. He pulled that fundamental blocks of what Spock is as a character. Quinto, I mean, the scripts he was given, I mean, the first 2 are not good. And in 3, he had some good stuff, but then in the middle he sort of loses logic for a bit, and then he gets better after that. I think he kind of wasted the character, and the 3rd one was quite disappointed. It really just missed potential, but that's just the JoJo films in a nutshell, but I think he just harnesses it. He comes from a different place of understanding the Spock character, of being restrained and using those sub expressions, those underdone scenes, because often when you play under the bar of where you could play, when you do go above that bar, it's more of a payoff. If you start higher and go higher, like we see Quinto in 09 get really emotional, well, the first one feels out of place and the second one feels very out of place, and neither are close to where Spock would be. So you're thinking, well, wow, okay, but they're not into deeper levels, which is why I quite liked the scene in Beyond where Spock's on to her and she breaks up with him. Like, I think he plays that scene very well.
Yes,
everything. Just Beyond's just a better shout for the character. It's sort of a shame what he got in the rest of it. So I've pretty much got all the images now. I didn't do the sub Spocks from 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
But
well, when we talk about them, then you can whip them.
Absolutely. We'll whip it out, Stuart. Whip it out.
Well, I started the thing and I say it's time to rock out with our Spock out, so you can whip your Spock out later when we start talking about them. So Mike Tamburini puts in £2.
Thank you, Mike.
Redo the Cage in a mini-series special. It'd be cool to actually redo the Cage and kind of get more of what Spock was doing on the Enterprise. Well, it would be neat to see different perspectives of the same story.
Yeah.
And still get touchstones to the original story. That'd be actually neat, actually.
Yeah, you say, what is Spock doing? What is number 1 doing? More politics on the ship. Maybe cut to the Venus perspective more outside of the Cage. Her talking to the Telosians, rather, because we know Pike's experience. Yeah, do everything else. Maybe even show some cool other animals in the Cage, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you have to find a very different perspective to take on it, maybe from the Telosians' point of view, or do all from Spock's point of view, as you said. Like, it's not worth redoing for the sake of it, but it's like when they made the Room mockumentary, film thing, they did refilm scenes from the Room, and it was really fun to see the alternate yet the same. That was a joy, so that'd be kind of cool to You know, if you've already got the bridge, I mean, why not even film just the first scene? You know, you've got all the players, you've got the set. Why not? You know, well, time, money, and budget, I guess. But why not? Yes.
Yes. Joe Wright puts in $2 and says Quinto A+, Peck A+++++, and Nemo A+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ I kind of agree with you.
Well, I mean, if you're being actually A to F, I mean, Spock's an A star, goes above the scale because he also invented it. Peck's probably a B, solid B.
So far, B, yeah.
No, not great, but solid B, and Nimoy's like a C.
I was going to say, you're going to get slapped.
Quinto's like a C. But again, each movie's so different. Like Beyond, he's probably a B. But then,
yeah, you have to rank each movie separately.
But then 09, he's definitely a D. You know.
Yeah.
Although I guess does punching someone out be lower than just punching Kirk? He's just weird writing, guys. It's nothing on the actors, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cage.
Mike Tamburini puts in £5.
Hi, Mike, again. Thank you.
Best thing from the JJ movies was the sound of the torpedoes firing. Only thing they got right. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, I kind of like that. I like the soundtrack in 2009.
Yes, you do.
I thought it was very... For me to say I like something from 2009, Star Trek is impressive, but the soundtrack was really well done. I really did enjoy that.
Yeah, those weapons were definitely meatier than the Discovery ones for sure.
I do like the Discovery warp sound though.
It's okay.
I gotta say.
Yeah.
I gotta say. And it's in Star Trek Online now, so
it's a bit too fantasy feeling. You know, I like the sonic boomy feel, but it's a bit too. I mean, they're all just sound effects. Who cares? You know, better, worse, whatever. But yeah, I can see why.
Okay. Herbal Essences puts in £2.
Cool.
Your opinions on Enterprise Bridge from the preview. Well, we had a video coming out about that where we talk specifically about that, so I don't think we'll touch on that too much here.
But I think it's fair to say we're not burning the house down. It's certainly a lot more the correct approach to doing a visual update. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just put the baby in new clothes. Don't know where the analogy's going.
Yeah, best not to kill the babies.
What? Think of that, man. What? You explained that very quickly.
You were talking about burning the house down and
oh yeah, I suppose
throwing bath water on it, I guess, with the baby in it. I don't know.
And the bath water's not gonna be enough, is it? So it'll burn down either way. Yeah, this is going great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna load up Premiere with every Spock in chronological order.
And we'll talk about it. Okay, Mike Tamburini puts in another £2. Thank you very much again, Mike. Loving the Enterprise bridge design. Nice update. As I said, we'll be releasing a video on that probably on Thursday, I believe, is the day.
We'll do tomorrow, because otherwise people... Because the fact is, if people will see that bridge in like 3 hours' time, then the first reaction becomes a bit pointless because they'll see it in 3 hours. So tomorrow will come out. So at least get 24 hours of it being a first reaction before it becomes redundant.
Okay. Yeah. Tomorrow then. See how I get... You know, I may be the captain, but sometimes I just don't know the logistical layout of the ship, and he's got to take care of things for me. Bastard. Joseph Petrick puts in €2. Joseph, you're amazing. Samuel with a bit of makeup and on the right wig. I guess you could be Spock.
Spock.
That's Kirk.
Kirk.
That's you saying Kirk as Kirk.
Buried alive. Buried alive. Buried alive. What's that?
I don't know.
Me
That's
being Khan, being Kirk, being...
Oh. Okay.
I'm a well man.
I quit. All right, so what do we got going on here? We got...
well, I mean, they're obviously mostly Nimoy, because he had God knows how many years playing the part. But I've got chronological Nimoy, because the character did sort of change as it went a little bit. We had, Cage Spock, Cage Fighter Spock, and that was his first
Cage
original.
Fighter Spock.
And it's funny how his haircut is a bit more forgiving. It's got a much more wavy fringe, and he has expressions. Far, far more expressions.
Well, I guess see Spock's flying by because of the delays. So,
yeah.
Badger Boy UK puts in £1.99. Oh, I've missed one. Sorry. Mike Tamburini again puts another £2. I will watching that video front and center. I will be watching that video front and center, as you should be. You should be watching all of our videos.
Thanks,
and
man.
Badger Boy UK puts in £1.99. Do you feel cheated by 10 seconds of Prime in the finale? But what do you mean by Prime? You mean 10 seconds of like?
If we only got 10 seconds of Prime feeling.
Yeah, I'd feel a little bit cheated. But at the same time, it's like, at least we got some.
Yeah, any Prime would be great, Well, it's also a sense of progression. If they did that, then it would be hard pressed for them to go into next season and lose that Prime feel. I mean, this is a great time to even. If they've built the Enterprise bridge, why can't they refit the Discovery and use that as the new the Enterprise bridge as a Discovery bridge? Again, modify the color palette, and now you've got a very, bigger, more advanced, because it's been refitted. I mean, again, season 3 they could win so hard. It's mostly because of our lower expectations. Anything good is better, but boy, they could. Yeah, they could do cool things. Yeah, there's young Spock, Stuart. What do you think? The youngest of the Spocks.
That's a Spock with the Doctor, just so I know I'm on the right picture.
Yes.
Yes. Actually, looking damn good as far as Spock goes. I like the hair better like that. More so than the more so than the standard cut. It's more realistic.
Yeah.
But
okay, question though. That collar, that one. Are you
that
really
color
saying that
collar?
Collar. Are you really saying it's better than the Discovery one? The TOS Discovery?
Yep. 1000%. The whole uniform's better than the Discovery uniform.
Really? I don't think
even a
smaller
little delta. Well, I would, and I have. So.
Well, I mean, no. Explain why. I mean, it's a very loose-fitting, fabric-y. It doesn't look smart particularly.
Because it looks comfortable, and it's the original Cage look, so it's obviously better than Discovery's.
Okay.
Jeff Jacobs puts in $3. Jeff, my man, thank you. 240 watching, awesome. I will pay at 150 likes. Dun dun dun. Here we go with the like thing again. Let's make him pay.
Yes.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, guys, do like this video because it helps the analytics. You'd be surprised how literally by not super chatting and just liking can make a big little difference. Not a huge difference, but a big little difference. And here is the two Spocks. So this is theoretically a Spock from 3 years ago, and the Spock. So this is what they were meant to be replicating theoretically. Well, that's the thing though. Do you question, as I want to do. If you recall, in Star Wars Rogue One, they made the choice to give Darth Vader his New Hope armor, which was the cheapest and ill-fitting of the armors, rather than the one that was then retconned in Return of the Jedi, which was his most sleek-looking one. All the flaws, all the color problems, all the you see through the helmet. Is that good? Is it better to reference the real-life canon? Or the what would make sense canon? Did you like that fact, or were you against it overall?
I liked it overall. I thought it was a very nice tip of the hat and homage to the original one, and I had no issues with that at all. So that's the way I see it.
which is funny.
I'm big on homages and respecting the what came before. That's why Battlestar Galactica, the new one, where you see like the older style Vipers, you see the older style Battlestars. It's like, we know your thing is the thing, and that you're watching this because of the thing you watched before. Here you go. We're offering you this. We get very little of that in JJ Trek, and it's just slap in the face, kind of. I know you want to get new audiences, but you don't need to ignore the old fans, So I like the Darth Vader armor thing. I thought that was a great thing.
It's just fascinating that it depends on who you put in charge. That director, I mean, my goodness, that film feels like right out of the era it's set in, to a T. Painstaking effort. So much so that costume piece looks worse because it was done like the one from the 70s. And here you have Star Trek saying, F this, we'll update everything. And you have the film a few years ago saying, F this, we'll make it look worse for accuracy. That's amazing. I mean, I personally would have rather it been his later suit that looked... Because there's lots of flaws that, like, I knew something was wrong with the suit. I was like, that's like a fan film suit. And I've seen a lot of, Darth Vader suits in person, and some of them look a lot better. So I was kind of surprised by that. But I mean, as soon as you explain, it's like, oh wow, attention to detail. Damn. Okay.
No, I like the look to the old 70s. It was a subconscious thing that a lot of people probably didn't notice right away, but they knew that it felt like the original Star Wars that they watched. Yeah,
but it works in the hokey like filming style of the old one, the lighting, but it just looked just cheaper.
I kind of disagree.
No, that's fine. But it's just sad that they took so much effort and attention, and Discovery refuses to. But again, it's whoever's in charge. If imagine if the person, if Doug had been put in charge, we'd have a really good show with a really good canon to be really well updated. Like it's just who's in charge, And I think, luckily, whoever's been in charge of writing Spock has actually treaded that line very well. It hasn't. I mean, we said that when he appeared, and you said, "Oh, he's a bit too emotional in this scene." And I said, "Well, he's got a reason this season." I think they've really done the emotional stuff to the absolute minimum. I think they've really held themselves back in a good way. Like, think about all the opportunities they could have pushed him, and they've really kept him tethered to the Spock that we knew. I mean, if you remember from the trailer, the first trailer, there was Pike saying, "Are you spying, Spock?" And Spock says, "Well, yes, Captain, I think I am." And then you realise that, are we assuming it's going to be the on viewer, yelling, smiling Spock? It's like, no, he hasn't been. He's been actually normal Spock. So I think they've done a really good job of not taking advantage of that situation.
Yeah. Mike Tamburini again puts in another £2.
Thank you, everyone.
This Spock is a total womanizer. The tease. I'm confused. Not sure what he means. Kharkov puts in $10. Thank you very much. I feel that Peck has captured Nimoy's original stoic nature of Spock. Quinto just didn't have it. He sounds too excitable and not mature. That's exactly how I feel, and that's a great way to put it, because yes, I totally agree with you, and that kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier about Quinto when Samuel asked me why, but that's a great way to put it. He just doesn't have the... Well, that's when I said he didn't have the gravitas of Nimoy, is kind of what I meant. But Peck, I think, does much more so. So... Clive Oid puts in $5. Spock should appear older, I guess. Maybe that's what's putting me off Peck. Nimoy does look older, even in the cage. He looks older than he was. So I can kind of see that. And that's what I went back to what I said about seeing Ethan Peck on some of the panels. He's got very much a baby face. So I wasn't sure that without the beard that he would work as Spock, and that's why they kept the beard. But I mean, seeing this picture, he's kind of got the same kind of structure in the face there a little bit. He's just not as squared off and chiseled, I guess, as I mean, when you put them side by side like that, it's like a lot closer than you'd think, actually. But I don't know. It's just and it's not a great picture of Spock of Quinto there. I don't think. It seems too bright. It seems out of context. I don't know if he'll be lit like that necessarily in the show. So I don't know. Too bright doesn't look good. But what do I know?
Doing some math on how old they each were when they took on Spock. Because they often referred to that. Oh wow, no, he's only 2 years younger than Nimoy was when he took on Spock. So they're about the same age.
Yeah.
So no, he's not too young to play Spock. He's the right age to play Spock. And
He
actually, I was going by
he just doesn't look older like Nimoy did.
Well, and I was going by TOS, not necessarily Cage, and Cage would be before 66, I guess. So yeah, they would be like right there. But like I mentioned with I've said this before, but with Doctor Who, you know, Peter Capaldi is older than the first Doctor, William Hartnell.
Yeah.
By like 8 years, and yet one looked like an old man granddad, one like an older dude.
Yeah.
Because in that era, everyone looked older, and so 2 years apart when these pictures are taken, and yeah, that's just what tech and things have done. We all can look younger longer, and thank goodness for our high-end actors like Samuel L. Jackson that can keep performing for as many years as we can get out of them, because you never want him to retire.
Everybody's saying that he was a big drinker and smoker, which contributes to the look of the age.
It's true,
but
it's true.
And people looked older in the 60s. That I also agree with.
Yeah, which is great. How when Nimoy got to like old Spock, he looked the same for like 15 years. That was a nice thing, though. Same with Shatner. He looked
because it's like he didn't age.
Yeah. Whereas like Scotty, he deteriorated quite quickly. But like even Shatner, he stayed very similar looking for a solid decade now. At some point he's going to go downhill, but I mean, doing a really good job. Some people just can stay looking a certain way. Oh, and so now we've gone from pilot to second pilot. We're now like a year or so later, and boy, those eyebrows have migrated upwards. And actually, that's interesting. The hairstyle is slightly closer. Well, you can really see the greenier skin tint, and now those side. I was wearing a yellow, which is interesting. He's wearing yellow in the pilot, the second pilot. That's kind of where I don't often see him, or gold or green, whichever. But that does make his skin feel more green, whereas Ethan Peck now has very human skin color. So gone is that slight complexion. What do you think of that comparison, Stuart?
It's the Cage was a lot closer. For the being Kirk's sidekick here, being that Spock, the eyebrows are really harsh here.
Yeah.
But you got the thick collar like the Discovery one. It's nice and thick now. It's all even.
Although you can see the weird edges of it not like velcroing together properly. That looks cheap. That'll give us a. But yeah, there is bits sticking out. Because that's the thing, though. Technically speaking, Ethan Peck's uniform evolves into this uniform in like 2 years, 4 years, because it's just slightly before TOS. Yeah.
Richard Kennedy puts in £1.99.
Thank you.
Greetings from Belfast. Live long and prosper. Live long and prosper to you too, sir. Thank you,
sir.
Mike P. $1 with no comment, but thank you. And Darth Duck puts in €5. Hope that this Spock is the last new one we see in a show. We need new characters and not the same over and over again. What's next? The new data? Yeah, well, I kind of agree with you.
Well, but, I mean, if you think about what characters have we got that are good in Discovery, I mean, Saru. If you push, if you need one name, it's Saru, and if you need to give a name, but who have been the best characters this season? Spock and Pike. Mm-hmm. Even number 1 minute was pretty interesting, and so they just can't create the best new characters. whereas the old characters, for some reason, they blow right past them. So yes, I don't want to see everyone older, but that said, give us better new characters. Yeah. Okay, I'll swap to the next Spock.
And Jamal, I agree with him there. He says the disco color wouldn't look so bad if the top was even and the bottom not matching, whereas they're both kind of out of alignment. I don't know. The Discovery colors look good when the jacket's undone. Like when Lorca was on the prison ship and he had his jacket open. And yeah, it's bigger on the one side, small on the other. But just having it undone, even when Stamets has it zipped halfway down, it looks good.
Yeah.
Don't do them up.
Well, it looks crisp, but it's like there's no aesthetic, functional reason why that collar makes sense. Like it doesn't look good or feel good.
That's where they built in the universal translator, and they needed more room.
Dude, if that's the reason, I'm all for it. I think that's just. But again, translators are meant to be a thing in a few years rather than, whatever now.
Captain Spire, $5. Star Trek Discovery. Oh, sorry.
Well, so there's a comment directed to me. Mike P. Commander Cockings, your work for Temporomedy was favorited by Pierre Droulet. Thought you should know. That's a hell of a compliment. Mike P. Where did he favorite it? Because I would love to see that myself.
Pierre Droulet's birthday yesterday. He actually
was.
I wished him happy birthday, and he just sent me a message today, and I haven't read it yet because it was just before I came on here. So.
Yeah, I sent him a nice long happy birthday.
Yeah. But Captain Spire, $5. Star Trek Discovery Spock looked a lot like Zahn, a Vulcan from Star Trek Phase 2. In all honesty, we just wanted a good character. It could have been some other Vulcan. It could have, but they were trying to snag the TOS fans. So name drop. Yeah. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
That would have been cool. No, Zon. That would have been. I mean, no one would have got it, and it wouldn't have meant much necessarily. But that's the joke.
I wouldn't say no one would have got it.
Well, but that's
75% of the people would have got it.
No, 60. That's a little bit more specialist to know who Zon is. Maybe. Because he's a non-part of the motion picture. I only really know him that he's going to be in Phase 2. That's where I know him from. From the screen tests and such. I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Mike P says on his YouTube channel.
Yes, I'm looking for it now.
Oh, okay. The tie doesn't look good. Sense. Yeah, it does kind of look like a tie, like a bow tie that wasn't.
Oh wow.
Or is untied.
That's great.
Okay, what did he say?
He's only got 4 videos and 2 of them are mine. In his favourites. Or his light videos. Nice. That's cool. Thanks, Pierre, if you're watching. Well, do go watch his USS Jeffries International Coalition Space Program, the video that he made, which features his 3 ultimate Discovery designs. His 2 ultimate Discovery-esque designs and his 1 Enterprise Jeffries design. All just incredible work, and he spent, I think, like 8 months making this animation, all in Lightwave, all hella ambitious. I mean, more ambitious than I thought he was going to make it.
And there's an app to go with each one of the ships. You can download an app and like explore the ship in 3D and like superimpose it on things and do some really cool stuff with it.
We're going to cover that with him in the coming weeks. And you can download it for $1. And he's not doing it to make money in the same way, but he wants to support more 3D app work. So he'd love to be able to take people through the ships if possible in the future. And so some funding from that would be great. But it's just a really fun experience just to be able to have the ship in your home and go around and just yeah. Oh yes, more likes. More likes we need.
That was a sidebar.
Yeah, well, Pierre always deserves a sidebar. Guys, likes, come on, 276 people, which is amazing. But come on, we need to get 240 likes at the minimum. So everyone click like button now. 120. Go on.
Do it.
Click, click, click. Click the like button. Click, click, click. If you have 250 likes, I'll jump to the next picture.
Yeah, be part of that click. Ha! The like click.
We're baiting you to click.
Click the like. Yes. Be part of the click. The like click.
250, I'll go to the next picture so you can control it now. You can control
it. Spock looks good in his uniform. I really like these uniforms. I like them too, except for the collar.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, they look pretty good.
They're crisp. Yeah, sharp, crisp. And they look better than the Discovery ones. They do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if these had been the... Like we've said, 132, yay. It's a thing. If season 2 had been season 1, boy, it would have started from a much less rocky place, you know? We might have said the season arc wasn't as good as it could have been, but it would have given so much more slack. You know, seeing the Enterprise at the start would have been like, wow, they went Enterprise straight away? Okay. Weird, but okay. If you imagine starting season 1 with meeting the Enterprise, it's like, damn, prequel. Just calm down. Your first shot was Enterprise, Jesus. Okay, 139. Next picture. What is next? Oh, now we're in, again, bit of a weird... See, I picked up all the weird Spock shots to show that early Spock was, had some interesting
Thanks, Super Coops. Super Coops has to leave, but he already clicked light, so he's...
Thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
You did the job of legends.
Yes. I'm still waiting for... Oh, there it is. Oh, no, not yet. Oh, that's a Charlie X picture, I believe.
Yes, I tried to go still early because he did. Yeah, see, he did have emotion. They didn't know, you know. There's a lot of source material to pull for Len Nimoy playing Spock. A little bit off, not knowing where the lines were so much.
Yeah. And I don't like to think that he's playing it off. I like to think that he's like trying to blend in a little more with the new crew or something. You know, feel a little bit more like, or make people feel at ease with him maybe. And eventually it just doesn't really work out for him, so he kind of doesn't do it as often. I don't know. There's reasons for why he could acting the way he acts.
Okay.
Just say.
Sure.
The haters will still be moaning about Spock not being Spock. Yeah, the haters will, but what are you gonna do?
You know, we try and keep a vague listen to a lot of the haters because it's just interesting, even if we disagree, mostly because we just think hate for hate's sake is a waste of everyone's time, honestly. And those that watch those videos are also the haters that waste time hating. There's a difference between hating and having a problem with something and expressing it. But I think even the haters can't complain as much about this character. You know, we are critical when it needs to be critical, but as we Stuart, it's not fair to say that we relish giving credit when it's earned. You know.
Yeah, I would say so. Like it's an easy thing to do too. I mean, it's an easy thing to get right, and to be like get a lot of kudos for that, but they just chose not to sometimes.
Here's that whole Stockholm syndrome. It's like we so used to the bad that anything mediocre / good is whatever. But I mean, it's funny if you recall when we released our D7 first reaction video, and someone in the comments said, "Why does Stuart hate it so much? Why are you guys so negative?" And I'm like, I mean, we were flat out balls to the wall positive. I think my comment was, "There's nothing wrong with this at all." Just because you can't win.
Nope, you can't. That's the problem.
I'm trying to go a plaster so you can vamp for a sec.
All righty. There's the guy's shadow, which has been missing from modern Spocks. What, the 5 o'clock shadow? We got them 150 likes. Yes, we did. And we just got 3 super chats just rolled in, which is awesome. So Nigel Savage puts in £5 and says 150 likes. Good job, guys. Well, thank you, Nigel. We should be at 200 likes with 260 people here, though.
Oh, gosh.
Come on now.
Should be at 2,000 likes, Stuart. That's how math works, right?
Yes. Number 1 special, because we refuse to call you no one special since that last.
Since you're so supportive. Yeah.
Puts in $2.
Thank you.
Who today would make an ultimate Spock? I don't know. I'd have to look at actors. I can't just off the top of my head pull out names.
I don't even think you can make that assertion. You know, it's kind of like an experiment where no one can win, but boy, did they get close with Ethan Peck. You know, which is why we hope the Enterprise bridge. You know, while we like it for the most part, quote unquote, we can't tell until we see the back, until the vibe, until there's motion. Like, you can't go full review until you can't even say if we like it or not, because there's so much of the bridge we haven't seen most of the bridge. So wait until we see the full bridge.
It's the same with this picture of Peck, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
It looks a little off to me, so I got to see him moving, talking, doing Spock things as Spock to really get a feel for how he is.
You know, weirdly, I think it's because his face is so human, skin tone. It just looks like an actor's put on a costume.
Yeah, it looks like it looks exactly like on a Halloween costume packaging.
Yeah. So now we're going to jump to Spock from the motion picture. We're going to jump in time. So now we've got, after the long break of no Spock, we've now got older Spock. To see, and it's fun to see the different collars, because we don't often just see collars. And boy, this is not good.
Collars.
It's not a bad collar.
We got to do a whole episode on collars.
The Trek Collar Show.
Clivoid puts in $5 and says, "I'll take your appreciation of Peck. Too much negativity around Discovery. I'm a fan." Good. I mean, a lot of people are fans of Discovery, so.
I mean, it is the worst spin-off if you take out TASS, which I think is a weird one, but it doesn't make it a awful show now. It's just the worst of the Trek shows. Because you gotta take the good quality Trek as well as good quality show. It's very long, good quality Trek, but it's got more quality show elements.
Great
now.
Production values and cinematic feel. Yeah.
But it's nice how in season 1, how many times I say poor script, poor dialogue. They got them, the writers. They got a lot better this season. It's more just stories that they're not quite hitting home, but the dialogue is much better. I mean, it's leaps and bounds. Just again shows how poor season 1 was. You know, and that's why they're all fired. I mean, that's why they were let go. You know.
Yeah, 90 Lancaster says, "Grow the beard back, mate."
No.
Well, we got to see. We got to see what he's like.
Nigel has a great little joke. Whoever played Anakin in the second trilogy, he was good at delivering an unemotional, boring, uninvested line.
Oh man. Yes, but I think. I mean, I've seen him act in other things, and he's better.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of the direction. It's just to be like, yeah, I don't like sand. It's rough and coarse, and it gets everywhere.
Did you watch? I told you I was watching the 30. Did you manage to watch the Everything Wrong with Phantom Menace today?
No, I didn't. I'll probably end up watching that tonight during my regular YouTube watching.
I watched it, and I was like, oh yeah. When you do break little problems down, like we can do with Discovery as well, it's like, why were these choices made? You know, seriously. And we had this conversation yesterday on the admin chats about how episode 1 is better than you think. I'm like, is it though? Structurally, still a ton of problems. Like, it was the wrong choice of film to make. Like, it was just the wrong choice. There's some cool elements in it. The art design's pretty excellent, you know, and CG I think is still pretty excellent and such. But just why he thought it was a good idea to make that film the way he did, you know, really not a good choice.
And Jason VNAC is here.
Hey.
He said he needs more eyeshadow. Yes, Jason. Jason, you and I have to talk. We haven't talked in a while, so I need to chat with you soon.
Yeah, it's just too human. He looks just too him. But to be fair, the whole point of this picture was it was to promote the cruise. Meet Ethan
where the sun
Peck.
will be shining.
Yes.
So brighten up the picture.
Yeah. So what do you think of the motion picture then, Spock? We've now put on a few years. It's the break in between. He's probably in, 30s, or whatever age. You put on 10 years in between. So what do you think now? Older Spock.
This is the Spock that I'm more used to. I mean, yeah, you got the TOS Spock, but when I was growing up, TOS was already old, and since I was a kid, I was watching like the movies. So this is the Spock that I'm more familiar with. So this has the more Spock look, the kind of like not as soft features, more hard-lined. Yeah. And here you got 5 o'clock shadow, like very noticeable.
Well, let me do a side-by-side just because, again, what's funny, we obviously think of all these things, but we don't necessarily really analyze the way we do in Trekyards. So I've never looked at the actor side-by-side. Why would you? This is Spock in those years, how they changed the...
Well, while you're doing that, Jeff Jacobs puts in $3 and says, "Oh hell yeah, 150. I will go again at 200."
Boom.
So we gotta hit 200. And just as I said that, the image on my other monitor changed, and it's a Pierre Drolet picture of his bird of prey sitting on an aircraft carrier deck beside F-18s. The Sci-Fi Museum by Pierre Drolet.
Yes. No, Mike P. I'm not watching any shows right now.
Oh, that's when you got to watch, though, Samuel.
Yeah.
That's got to be high on your list. I recommend it.
I know you do.
Me. This guy.
Well, maybe we should do the Trekyards live reviews on them. You've already watched them. I jump in and talk about them. And some super chats.
I want to watch it again, for sure, so, yeah.
What I see from this motion picture Spock is that, yeah, the wrinkles are just deeper. But but it's not so much they're deeper, it's much that they now create shadow, which gives him these darker lines. That's the real distinction.
A different filming technique. It's a big budget movie versus 1960s TV as well. You got different lighting, you got different film stock.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's pretty much the same. I was actually impressed with how little he aged, even all the way to TNG, compared to Shatner and like Doohan. Like you said, Doohan got a lot bigger. Shatner got bigger, but not too bad.
Bigger than maintained.
Yeah. But Spock always had that alien, I'm living to 170 look, you know?
Yeah.
It's a shame that the Nimoy actually passed away before.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming, so, but
it's interesting. I never noticed that there was actually eye makeup in between his eyebrows and his eyes. But in motion picture as well. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. That's what the picture needed of Ethan Peck. More eyeshadow in that whole area.
Should I go Photoshop that in? I mean, I'm not.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not against using my time to Photoshop eyeshadow into actors. I mean, I'm not above that, Stuart.
That's what Jason Vinek said too with the eyeshadow thing. And what you got to do while you're doing it, do the Kirk band of light across his eyes too. Make it 1960s.
Have a life, Stuart. Come on.
No, you don't. Come on. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's not lie to the people.
See how he treats me sometimes.
Let's not lie to the. Oh, yes.
Super chat for the sadness of Sam.
No, don't.
Refuse, audience, refuse. Okay, let me add this then. You talk to the audience. Okay.
Yeah. Is this Disco Spock getting the yellow skin paint? Oh, we were talking about that. I don't think so, because they haven't used it so far. I don't think they're going to. But as we said with this picture of Peck, it's very well lit, and I don't think that's how he's going to look at all when he's on screen, because Discovery's more dark than anything. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's one of the first things we actually talked about in this live chat was the skin tone of Leonard Nimoy had a greenish tinge to it in TOS, which was really noticeable in some episodes. But yeah. Jamal says, "Ouch! Shots fired from what? Who said what? What are you referring to?"
Oh, you against me, I think.
Oh well, what else is new? It's the thing we do. It's fine.
Yep.
If I was super nice to him all the time, he would think something's up. He would think that I'm like been replaced. I can't have that.
Yeah.
Okay. 33 more likes and Jeff pays. Come on now. 33 more likes. We can do that with 249 people.
Everybody support the Trekyards today. Yeah.
Just keep singing. And if anybody wants him to stop singing, by all means, super chat and he'll stop for 30 seconds. Per dollar.
Oh, God. No.
Babyface Peck. Yeah, see, that's what I thought too. Is that like I've seen him on panels and stuff. He doesn't have the Spock hair, obviously. He's got like just normal hair.
Well, that's really not his normal hair, Stuart. Are you kidding?
No.
Oh.
And it really throws me off because he does have a very baby face. I'm like, maybe that's why they kept the beard.
I don't think as a baby, it's just a younger. I don't agree with baby. Younger is fine, but that's a little bit too far. Well, who looks older, him or Quinto?
I would say Peck does.
Just. Quinto's got a
Yes.
softer face, but Peck has like more youthful face.
Yeah, well, as I say with Quinto, he seems like a cartoon character or like a Funko Pop. He's got that look to him. He doesn't look old enough or stoic enough to be Spock, in my opinion. He's too rounded, and I don't know. It's
Okay, so I have a photoshopped version with some subtle eye makeup. And subtle is the key, obviously.
Doomcock got a copyright strike for singing, so be careful. Yeah, but Doomcock does great impersonations, so it sounded almost exactly like the original who he was trying to imitate. We're not that good. All right, so what are we doing? I'm waiting for the live stream to catch up.
Yes.
Only Cage characters we've seen are Pike, Spock, and Number 1. Yes. No Dr. Boyce. I would like to see Dr. Boyce. That'd be cool. And yes, we need to see the eyebrow raise.
No, we did though. I think it was once. And
we need to see it with the full Spock thing,
without the
and
beard,
not the lower hairstyle and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, 90 Lancaster. We were talking about him earlier. That's Zahn.
So Stuart, what do you think of the? What do
Zahn.
you think of the new Photoshop?
Better. It looks better. It really does. Wow, you're like all good and stuff.
It's real subtle as well, but it's just something. So I use this picture, and it's actually he has a little under eye. I should probably add as well. I just thought start with the over eye first. What do you guys think? Better?
Can you make the skin tone just slightly pastier and a little bit greeny?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I knew how to do Photoshop. Jason V-neck likes it. He says that works in the Photoshop pic, so blink and you'll miss Discovery. Then a lot of people would be blinking, I think. Suddenly, 10,000 Trek Spock fans photoshopped eyeshadow this week. Ahead before next episode. Yes. Fleet Pa Swiftback puts in $1.99.
Thanks,
for Commander Cocking's Photoshop work.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah.
Very kind.
Good job, good job. Is that an actual promo pic? Yes. Except he's now altered it a little bit. He's changed the collar. He's added eye makeup. But yes, the original one was, and they were advertising a cruise. Ethan Peck going on this Star Trek cruise. Way to drop the ball, doing it like the same week as we're probably going to see this reveal.
Wasn't great.
No.
Trying some greener skin too, just a little bit.
Yes. We're working on it, Jill.
What does Jill say?
Now give him green skin.
Yes.
It removes the difference in eyes. Pecs are wider. Yeah. They both have the turned down eyes, though, towards the outside, which you'd never notice unless they're side by side. Spock must wear thermal underwear all the time, as otherwise he'd be cold. Yes.
Let's see if that works. We'll see.
Captain Spire, I would too. Said, I'd laugh if this Photoshop image becomes more popular than the CBS version. We need to release this.
Well,
just leak it to the internet and just let it go. Let it be free.
Let it be free.
Got to be free.
Replace with this one.
And Jamal says that gets mentioned in some books. And only his cabin was set to Vulcan norms. Yes, he does complain about the cold sometimes.
Oh, okay, it work. Poop. Okay. Darn it. It's just so subtle it's hard to see. Okay, there you go. Although I might... What's a better image of Nimoy that's brighter?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm still comparing it to that image. Okay, this is it without update, although his face is obviously brighter. Yeah. And actually, let me do a 3 side by side, because otherwise it's hard to see what I did.
Yeah. And Clivoids puts in $2 and says, I'll say it, Peck is too good looking.
Okay. Okay, there you go. Original, new, and before. Which is not necessarily the best way of framing them, but yeah, that's fine.
I'm still waiting to see that, because...
Has Mirror Giorgio mentioned Mirror Spock yet? It would be great to get a throwaway line about Spock shaving his beard off and not having a goatee like Mirror Spock.
That's so much better, Commander. That looks really good.
Is it updated yet?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see the difference of all 3. I guess real subtle, but it's meant to be, isn't it?
Yes. And it's a big improvement. Like,
yeah. Why does he vibe right now?
That's why I'm thinking this promotional image, it doesn't have the right lighting for the makeup or whatever, because I think they would probably go for something more like what you did. Because it seems very bright. It really does. It doesn't seem like something that they would release as a promotional image necessarily. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just crazy. Probably. No, still looks nothing like Spock. Well, we can only do so much, I guess. Too subtle form to tell.
But yeah, so that's the different Pecks. And then let's go to Wrath of Khan, which I actually didn't find the best image of, I apologise. But oh well. As we get sort of the more iconic Spock, because he's in this uniform for a good many years. And this is kind of how we see Spock for, you know, basically the rest of his career, give or take. In terms of like his proper prime appearance. Well, I'm glad he didn't appear in Generations, all things considered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cruise is all sold out. I went on 3 when I was thinking of doing another one. Pity. I've never been on one, so. Yeah. Peck could have surgery. In fact, he should. I don't know if Peck should have surgery. That's a little harsh.
Well, of course he can. I'm sure he's joking.
Yeah.
Thank you for fixing the collar. Hey, you're welcome.
And Jill says he looks great. He is Spock. There you go.
Although it's funny, now that we're doing this massive weird side-by-side, the Wrath of Khan collar is just the cage collar.
Yeah.
It just refined a bit. I mean, that's like...
Maybe that's why I like it subconsciously. Because it ties in with the Monster Maroon.
Yeah. That's actually... I'd never think we'd... Yeah. Huh. Funny.
Yeah. Robert Hayes says he looks fine. It's the uniform I don't like. Yeah.
It'd be great to see him in Monster Maroon. I mean, he's obviously young. Definitely too young to be, you know, that version of Spock. I don't know. That's the thing. I mean, official Trek can do anything. And it'd be great, you know, it's, again, if they're really smart, you know, if they did like in 15 years' time, they say, Ethan, we want you to come back as, you know, Twok Spock. You know, we want to tell the story of how you took out your first training cruise, you know, before Star Trek 3, and we're like, sure, why not? And he gets to be slightly older Spock, and, you know, he's in his, you know, mid-40s, and, you know, why not? As long as your Spock wants, I mean, there's no reason to not come back. I'm not sure how many other actors have reprised their reboot role. We often find when we get more of the old show, it tends to be, yo, bring back the original classics again. But it'd be nice to see. Just clever things, you know, Stuart. I just like clever things. You know, yeah.
I do know. I know. No one special or number one special. Sorry,
Yeah.
puts in $2. First time Commander showed his pecs on screen.
Yeah, 2 at once. I must be more than I have normally in a year.
And Ian Warrender, one of our mods, puts in £2. Good night, guys. Sorry, I have to run early. No problem. Thank you very much, Ian, for helping out. Have a good night.
Everything is appreciated. So thank you. Yeah, what was the... Okay, well, I'll ask you then. What was the best Spock single performance? By that I mean single episode, single movie... although it's hard to think of TOS, more just like, does TOS outplay the movies? Was he better in the movies than he was in TOS? Was there a movie who was the best in? Is there a specific version of him that you're just like, that was just, God, perfect Spock?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna have to think about that. Because I mean, if we just talk about the movies real quickly, for the motion picture, he was very much stoic, just coming back from the Colinar, almost completed it. So he's very standoffish. A little bit of more emotion at the very end of the movie, but very, very cold in that movie. So that's not really the Spock that you know. Star Trek 2, a little bit more so. That's probably his sweet spot, right about in Star Trek 2. Because he gives Kirk the birthday gift, the book, and you see some character traits. And of course he dies. Star Trek 3, you don't really...
Jesus.
Right. Star Trek 3, you don't really get much Spock. Star Trek 4, you get a interesting Spock, more comedic. But then again, he's got part of McCoy's personality in him now that he got the Katra back, unfortunately. Star Trek 5 is just Star Trek 5. Some good Spock McCoy moments. Kirk Spock McCoy moments in Star Trek 5, though. Star Trek 6 might be the best Spock performance from the movies.
And this is why I brought up this picture comparing Undiscovered Country Spock on the left and Wrath of Khan Spock on the right, and he did age a lot, actually. He went from close to the TOS, sort of a little bit older Spock, to old man Spock. Like, that jump of those movies, actually pretty drastic. Obviously he's using the expression of his face, but every wrinkle is real deep by 6.
Did you notice how much the uniforms, the Maroons, have changed?
Well, that's the lighting. That's the lighting.
And the collar is way different.
Well, that's
different height.
That's a weird one though. That's just because then the actors, then their weight grew. It's one of those things. If you look at Shatner, he'd almost, because I researched it a little bit. If you look at his collar in 6, Shatner has basically no collar. DeForest has more collar. They sort of evolved throughout the movies, but obviously 2 they were trying to be impressive and everyone was thinner and this is the new style, but they sort of give up on their collars. It's like the arm bits, the white. Like most of the actors, it's hidden, but some it isn't. It's just that costume is very different for each actor and how they wear it, and the larger actors wear it differently to the thinner actors.
Fine then.
Yeah, but I'm surprised how much older he looks.
Yeah, when you put them side by side, you can really see. But if you're just watching the movies back to back, you don't notice it.
Oh no. Yeah.
He still maintains that look of Spock.
Although, I mean, now doubling down, the green of his skin pretty much all gone. Again, the lighting, the color grading of the movie, but I mean, it's not there. Really, I don't see it at all in this still, which is in dark bridge lighting, but it's very evident in the 2, gone in the 6. What do you think?
Never noticed it before, but you are right. He just has more of a tan now.
Yeah.
That's my way of looking at it.
And then if you want to be cheeky about it, then you could then compare, 6 to TNG, because they were filmed about the same time, and it's meant to be, 100 years different in age. So let's see how they actually did aging on a fake aging.
I find fake aging is really bad generally in Star Trek. Never rings true of how they actually look when they get that age. The Deadly Years is a perfect example. But that's 1960s makeup technology.
So that's one where the budget didn't quite muster. Well, it's not like it's bad. It's just a very literal, let's make you guys look older.
Somebody's got to go back and remaster their old look to look like they do now.
Yes. Okay, so now, and that's weird actually, because they filmed TNG after it. He looks younger in TNG.
Mm-hmm. He does a bit, yeah.
He's doing the expression, which makes the wrinkles in his top feel way more. Okay, disclaimer. But it looks as if they've actually put more makeup on next to his eyes to try and hide the wrinkles in TNG.
Well, they want him to not look old at all because he's a Vulcan and he like supposed to be.
Yeah, but he's 100 years older. Although you would think you'd get surgery at between being 90 and being 190. It's like I'll just get some quick surgery. It's fine. But is that? Do you think that skin tone is back to being more thingy, or is it just more because the background's so pink that he looks pinkier? Because both those skin tones are actually very different. And again, color grading the episode is a massive difference in lighting, so it's very hard to actually give it. But that's what we've been presented. What do you think?
Again, it's cinematic filming versus television filming. Plus softer lighting. He seems like he's got more of a softer tone to his skin. It's not as like it's like brushed with baby powder in the Next Generation as opposed to the movie there. So
and Barry, a good friend and internal modeler, Barry Chapman, just had a wonderful little sub comment of if you really want to compare the difference between these two Spocks of being Star Trek 2 and 6, well, Star Trek 2 he hadn't died yet. Star Trek 6 he had died. So post death, and skin change and wrinkle change makes sense to me.
And in Star Trek 3, they were basically getting him off the planet when they could, so he had aged to a certain point. It was near the area where he was when he died. Close enough, so it could be a little over, It's like time travel. You go like 9 months too far or something.
Not that ever happened.
So that's a good point, Barry.
But then, let's cut to... Again, sort of out of chronological order a little bit, but let's go TNG to his JJ appearance, which is again his, oldest living Spock to TNG Spock.
Craig Ken puts in $1 Australian. Thank you very much, Craig.
Go.
Bring out your dollars.
Even one will do. What?
No, did I just see a JJ Spock? Are you comparing JJ Spock with?
Well, we're gonna get there soon, Stuart. The time will come. Through our look at the history of Spock's face. We're not done with Nimoy yet, but so this is him. What, 15 years apart? Real life. Yeah, mid-90s to 09. Yeah. So actually, 10 years. 10 years? Yeah. Can't do math apparently, but yeah, it's just over 10 years, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. What do you think?
It's Grandpa Spock versus like Dad Spock.
Yeah.
I don't know. The peak in the hair, I never really noticed that, but that's... Maybe he's just changing his style as he gets older. I don't know.
Well, he is quite a bit older than that. Mid TNG to late. No, it's not even in Quinto's Spock, the dip. I wonder if it's in the new Spock. No, it's just in that version for some reason. Weird.
They got a picture of him from Beyond? Not Beyond, from Into Darkness?
I didn't.
On the view screen?
I didn't, but I can grab it, I guess.
Yeah, we need to compare the three of them then.
I guess the oldest. Yeah, okay.
Because that'd be the oldest version, yeah.
Yes, I just didn't think it was I don't remember it being a very good image in terms of like clarity, so I thought it wasn't much.
It wasn't. I think the signal was kind of shitty, but I'm curious now.
Okay.
What about kids Spocks from the movies and Discovery? Well, yeah, we didn't want to go into all the Spocks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Spocks. That's very Spocking. That's like shocking, right?
It's Spocktastic, bombastic. Words.
Spot on, but different.
Thanks.
Hi, you've come to Trekyards. You know that the puns are going to be here.
Well, he's got the. It literally is even pixelated. I mean, I know that was literally in his house on a green screen. I believe. Like I know.
Oh really?
I'm pretty. Like I know it was on a green screen. I'm pretty sure it's just in his house. I mean, why not? I mean, you know, if you're guaranteed to get him, just take much, does it?
That's literally phoning it in. Yep,
Yeah.
here's my lines. All right, there you go.
Yeah, were you happy to see him in that film?
Nope. Yeah, well, yeah, because it's original Spock, but
Sort of.
it was just such a, yeah, like who's Khan? Like, why are you asking? Because this Khan has nothing. What? And are we gonna do this for every little thing? There's this little fuzzy creature. It's called a tribble. Do we have any problems with those, Spock? Sure. No. Maybe.
Look, young me, stop calling. I can't help you with everything. I'm busy. I've got my own life.
Here's a hint. They don't like Klingons. Bye. Oh.
I can't tell you about your future, but I'll tell you about Khan. It's like, oh, cool. Just a stupid movie. Just a stupid movie. Yeah. So many flaws. Okay, there's your 3 Spocks. Just do some digital manipulation. Yeah, as I say, not the easiest thing to see. Well, you know, they cut his hair just for that. So several months, you know, for a few weeks in a year for that thing, he had the Spock haircut for a bit. It's like he had a weird fringe. So yeah,
that's
not
an
a lot.
Awful image. That's kind of terrifying, actually.
Yes. And not to be, I'm obviously not trying to be mean, but I think the difference between the Spock from his last Prime appearance to his JJ appearance is that the TNG Spock, while old, his skin is still tight, whereas the JJ version, it's just like I say, Grandpa Spock. He's actually not much more wrinkly. Actually, he's done a very good job keeping that away, but it's just, you know, although the fact that the guy can still stay thin, I mean. You know, weight can really ruin your health, and he stayed the same, looking for a long old time.
You're saying I'm fat, Samuel? Is that what you're doing?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna. What?
Let's see how it is. One in the middle looks like a Romulan, a little bit. That's the hair. It's that hair thing. Yeah, I really wish I wouldn't have asked you to look up the Into Darkness one because it's not good.
I'll take that off screen then.
It's kind of giving me nightmares.
Right, so now, Stuart, we're going young again.
Yay!
We're going all the way back to a fresh, young face Spock, who's looks a little bit different though. The different universes really changed his vibe, I guess. They'll bring back Mr. Peck to compare and contrast how the two. Because we haven't actually done that yet. We've got through, you know, an hour of this gag, and we haven't got to that bit yet.
What gag? What? What are we doing?
What?
Who? What?
Who are you?
Who?
What's Trekyards? What?
When? Why?
Am I here?
Who are you?
I don't know.
Oh.
And I'll say, well, don't you mind that JJ collar, the sort of double collar? Meh, not too bad. The uniforms are garbage, but
yeah, the collar looks good, but it's better than the Discovery collar by far.
Who thought it's a smart idea to have deltas on a fabric?
It's great for Halloween costumes. That looks like what they're wearing on screen. To be fair,
I just really thought that was a good idea. Who?
Well, who thought it was a good idea to put deltas all over the boots?
Yes,
and the Discovery uniforms and the phasers and everything.
Well, that's what happens when you hire the same people that worked on the JJ films into Discovery. Oh wait, I did. At least some of them. Like because it doubles down to be even stupider if really the intention was that each ship has its own delta, and then so you're saying that the Enterprise, obviously you can retcon all around that, but it's just if that was the original intention, it's like really the Enterprise delta was on your clothes until a few years before, and then it suddenly was only one ship, and it's like really.
Because you know what happens when you take your ship insignia off your clothing material, then you have to write Disco in big bold letters so you know what ship you're from. Hi. Number 1 special. I know that's not how it's spoken. Puts in $5. Look up Hollywood Grave Tour Hillside #1. Nimoy's grave is neat.
Oh,
that's sad.
Uber morbid.
But I'm gonna look though.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. So you all talk amongst yourselves.
Actually, the last appearance of him in a JJ film is a good shot of him on the bridge. So.
I don't know where it's gonna be in the thing. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's nice. Cool. What about the partial ship in the background? That looks like Carnival cruise ship in nacelles. What are you referring to, Steve?
Oh, the picture with Peck. The cruise ship with the nacelles.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's
some wardrobe people. Same wardrobe people. Yeah, I do like the Franklin uniforms and beyond though, especially the landing party jackets. Yes, Franklins are not bad at all. It's like I love the fact they made a Franklin phaser for like 6 shots. Plays no part in the story, does nothing, but it's there. Cool. Yeah. Sure. Awesome. It's nice to see.
They went from being emotional martial offshoot of the Vulcans in TOS to the blandest, most homogenized aliens in all Star Trek. Talking about the Romulans, I assume. Barry likes Zachary's performance. Well, I'm sorry, Barry. I'm sorry that you're wrong. I'm just kidding. You can like what you like.
Some against the script, yeah. Some bit of it is good, some bit of it is not good. You know.
Disco uniforms are a bit too dressy for my taste. Would be nice to have the JJ cut with the disco fabric. Yes. That would be fine.
What do you think of these two Spock? This two successor Spocks in comparison. Now you actually look at them side by side.
Well, we've already had this discussion.
But you didn't have them side by side though.
Quinto again looks too round and cartoony and just too smooth. He doesn't have that Nimoy feel. At least Peck has a little bit of the more structured face.
That's why I was gonna call on, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that I think that Peck so far has been a better Spock than Quinto.
Oh god.
And definitely is acting. But then again, that's not Quinto's fault.
Well, this picture I don't remember where this is from in its darkness. I don't know why I have this, but this is, I guess he put on some weight between the two films, because boy, that Quinto is a little bit different in its darkness. Oops.
Wow.
And guys, 189 likes. Please like and get 200 likes. Please.
See that's a better looking Quinto, that picture.
Really?
A little bit more Spock-like. With the 5 o'clock shadow helps with the Spock look, I think.
He's too fat-faced now. Like
it's a little. He is too fat-faced for sure, but it's. I like Quinto's eyes. I think are more like Nimoy's than Peck's are. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
look. He's got the eyeliner. Which I never realised. He's actually got the upper bit.
Yep.
And then the final version, and again, I sort of got whichever pictures I could. We've got.
And Barry says, "What about a Tarkin-style CGI Nimoy?"
If you're doing a movie, that's the thing. Because what you'd have is, if you're doing a proper like random movie, you'd have Shatner playing Kirk again. You de-age him just 10 years would be fine. And you could digitally have have Ethan Peck act it, but put Lenny on his face, fine. And then, well, that's the thing. You've got 5 of the original cast with Michelle's retiring this year. You could still do, if you really wanted to do an epic. What I mean, can you imagine that? Why isn't there a producer out there saying, let's do one last hurrah of these characters, get them all in the same, something, all the same retirement home. The Trek. I mean, obviously Kirk's dead, but he's not dead in our parallel timeline. It's like, why wouldn't you do that? You gave that to no, Harrison Ford and Leia and stuff. It's like, it'd be really nice to see them all together. Because Shatner can still act. Like, he's still there. I'm pretty sure if you gave Chekhov Walter Koenig something, he's still a sprightly-ish man.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if he's being paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is fair enough. So there's last Quinto. I didn't realize they managed to give him a darker wig, it looks like.
Which movie is it? It's Into Darkness, where Quinto's running and his hair is like... Spock's hair shouldn't be doing this. I don't know. It should always be down. It just looks really weird when it's like...
His Spock is the immovable object. The gel keeps it together.
Dan23 says, I don't think even Sheldon Cooper likes Zachary Quinto's performance.
Well, there was a joke about it in the show. Do you remember?
No, actually, we just started watching Big Bang Theory 2 weeks ago. So we're just on season 3 right now.
What, for the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've seen the odd episode here and there.
Yeah.
But
cool.
really, really, really enjoying it. Way better than I thought it was.
Yeah, the first 4 are really good, and then it becomes more of a soap opera thing, and it loses its way because they kind of have lots of filler for like 3 years, and then this last season's actually been pretty damn good because they start like, well, we want to do these few things, let's just do them. So I'll give them credit. The last season's good, but when there's more characters introduced, the screen time between the characters gets severely reduced, and then some characters have just pointless arcs and.
Yeah.
But the first like 4 are pretty good, and it's less like fun at geeks. It's slightly more balanced.
Yeah.
Later, it's just more against geeks.
Oh. Well, thanks for giving me that to look forward to.
No, enjoy it while it lasts. You know, you got a couple more days of good Big Bang Theory. Then you'll sit through 3 seasons of mediocre, 1 season of bad. Penny having short hair, which looks awful. Don't worry, that goes away in a season, so it looks awful. And the last season's pretty good so far. But
good to know, thank you.
But I'll give the spoiler then. In 2009, there was a joke where they had Quinto, Sheldon ordered a cardboard cutout of Spock, you know, and oops, the Quinto one arrived. And he opens up and he's like, oh my god, what is this? And then by the end of the episode, he says, he was alright, and takes him in anyway. He's alright. But that was after 09, specifically. So there you go.
Yeah, I had heard that, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Sam, do Cage Nimoy versus Cage Nimoy. What? Barry, what are you on about?
I think Barry's, had a little too much to drink tonight.
It's late for Barry. He's only more asleep by now.
Yeah, family man and all that.
Yeah. The Amy character in the show. Disagree.
What do you disagree with?
Doesn't matter. Best you know, best you don't know. But yeah, guys, super chats, please. Oh, do a live stream with the evolution of the Klingon design through the years.
Yeah, well, we've done an episode on it where we compare Klingons back in season 1 of Discovery. We did a side-by-side timeline thing, remember? Remember our timeline episodes?
They were so good. That was a ton of work. I broke my back on those.
Hard work on your part, but it really paid off.
Yeah.
We still have the pictures and stuff. We could probably do one on the Klingons alive like this. That'd be fine.
Because that was fun, I remember, because I went very nitty-gritty with the stuff. Because if you look at, like, certain Klingons that were frozen in time, that come from this time, which means now you know. Like, it's very, very... Yeah, that'd be fun. Because you can, like, there's some real weird, like I say, out-of-time Klingons that... doesn't necessarily screw up the timeline, but give us very distinct... Well, we know what it looked like then. We know what it looked like then. But guys, do super chats because we honestly we need more help for this one because we we're trying to do different topics. So this week this episode hasn't been about a Discovery specific topic in a sense. We're kind of discussing something positive, visuals. I don't know.
But we got some really good super chats this one. So, but yeah, more odds always good. But.
Apparently Anson Mount just released, I'm watching it now, just released a little behind the scenes of the Pike scene.
Mako, shame they'd canceled Discovery right when it seemed to be getting a bit better. Discovery has not been canceled, but Thank you for
slightly
that.
uninformed.
Yes, it's got season 3's on the way. So, cheers for letting me know there's a video on that. I'll give it a watch later. Yes, go. Just type in Trekyards and in YouTube Trekyards Klingon. I think timeline. I don't know what we put, but it'll show up. It's a good one. There's lots of Klingon. If you type in Trekyards and Klingon, you're gonna get a lot of videos.
And that would actually be fun to go back and watch, because we analysed it. I mean, at the time it was funny that people, some very few people, some people complained, "Why are you analysing the corridor, the whatever?" But each one we asked the question: Is this Prime, Canon, JJ reboot, visual reboot? Each one is a slightly different category. Yep. It was really fun to actually analyse because each one had a different answer. Even to the point that I was doing all the research and you were able to come at it fresh because you were doing your own stuff, and so I was able to show you stuff that's like, oh wow, no, this corridor actually references the cage, and you're like, wait, really? It's like, yeah, here's the images. It's like, oh damn. So we gave them a pass on that. Yeah.
Oh my God, Mako. Outside sources told me it's canceled. Doomcock, Nerderotic, Microrandom, etc. confirmed it. Well, then it's 100% bullshit. So I wouldn't say don't put any stock in anything they say. As we know their sources. We know their sources, and their sources are right.
We know a source. You know what I mean. We don't.
Well, that is the source.
Well, I'm
that gets filtered down through other sources.
That's true. Yeah, until people cite sources, it is rumor, and they've been wrong before, and so they can say whatever they want.
Many times.
Yeah, we could say, Stuart, we heard a rumor that will be in the season 3 of Discovery. Who said it? Oh, we can't tell you. So what do we all achieve? Nothing. So unless you can cite sources or prove it, any shred of proof, they're interesting videos, but if you can't prove it,
it's clickbait titles for people that don't like Discovery that they so they go and watch and get 15 minutes of blah 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 blah, and they get their views and they get their ad revenue.
And they're wonderfully constructed. They make a lot of sense, but again, we can't report them until they're proved.
Mako said it is sarcasm. Sorry, sarcasm doesn't come across well in the chat there. I thought you were being serious. Sorry.
I think you need to give you the agonizer booth.
So Steve Martino puts in $2.
Thank you.
Spino Breaker puts in $2 Australian and says Spock versus McKay in a science off. Go. Who's McKay?
Dr. Rodney McKay from Stargate Atlantis.
Oh, Spock would win. Renee.
Well, no, it's tricky because Spock is a good overall round, but Spock isn't necessarily as good at life or death situations. He's a quick wit, but McKay is very good at specifically figure out a solution now, boom, genius. Spock is more general, and so in that regard, he's probably better than Spock. But Spock's obviously just smarter as a generalist. Well, I'm trying to be honest, and I think that's a very specific trait, Yeah, Spock's got out of less life or death situations than McKay. And also, if you look at how smart he's compared to his peers, Spock's smart, but he's not the smartest Vulcan, not the smartest human necessarily. You know what I mean? He's great in the context of the shows, but he's not as smart as Data theoretically, and you know what I mean. Whereas McKay is on a level above, in many ways.
And Renee Moncayo puts in whatever that currency is. Sorry, don't know. Vincent D'Onofrio would make a great Vulcan Romulan.
Vincent D'Onofrio. Cool.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Yeah, sure. It's a random pick, but sure.
You got the look, right? So
sure. Spock has never blown up a solar system. No, but Spock did do red matter and suck up a black hole and go back in time and not try and save his own people by going back in time again to save them from Nero, showing he's a senile old man that doesn't do what's best for his race, his culture, or the timeline. As my dad always says, they ruined the character of Spock by having him not even try to save his planet. They have the means, technology,
and tired.
But that's his entire race, though. He's literally allowed trillions of Vulcans to die. You can't forgive that character for not trying. When he has all the calculations to go back in time, even if it takes him 10 years to, build another ship with Starfleet's help, that can do around the sun and then go back and destroy Nero. It should have been the natural end to the JJ universe to have Spock come back and undo it, just to save every Vulcan. You know, it's like if you spend your entire life trying to make unification between Vulcans and Romulans, and then it all gets undone because of a mistake. It's like, that's your entire life's work wasted. You know, like I say, it ruins the Spock character, but he's a senile old Vulcan. Like he is as senile as Sarek is. You know, so whatever. You know.
Nigel Savage puts in £5 and says 200 likes. Go for it, chaps. Support the only to talk Star Trek without the negativity. Trekyards, good going. Well, thank you. That means a lot, actually. Really appreciate that.
We do try. We
try. Hey, Jinx, you owe me a beer.
Yeah.
McKay is Canadian. Oh, well, then he's obviously better than Spock. I know who you're talking about now. Yeah. Spock's still smarter, though. Barry says, live long and prosper, guys. I'm turning in. All right, night, Barry. Thank you for joining us.
Late, man. Good night. Thanks for the update today.
Thanks for all you
tomorrow's
do.
Update. Because Barry's helping us with an internal pilot for a project that could be amazing, could crash and burn. We're hoping for the former.
Or get shot, and then crash, and then burn. Ha!
Yeah.
That's kind of a hint, but I'll shut up now. Hour and 50. We've officially run out of things to talk about. Spock or Worf? That's kind of vague. I mean, physical strength wise.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, who smells better? I know Worf smells like what is lilac? An earthy, peaty aroma. I don't know.
What do you want about? What?
How they smell.
Oh yeah, it was an episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Huh. Weird. So we're going to talk about
Jeff.
Wow, that's different.
Jeff Jacobs with $3. Nigel, the man. Thanks for matching. 200. Make me pay. Sorry, what are you going to say? Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, nothing much. That's an off-stream conversation. Because I am now here tomorrow night. So yay.
You are going to be here?
Yes. Worked out a good strategy so I can do that as well.
Oh. Yay, he's going to be here. I thought I was going to have the floor to myself tomorrow. But no. No such luck.
No such luck.
I have to see him again tomorrow.
I could just...
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Maybe I won't be here tomorrow. Because you never know. Worf versus Bortus. See, that's better. It's better. More of a comparison. Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $2.99. Can't match exactly, but here's my 200 likes. Thank you.
And Clivoid sounds a bit of a hater sometimes.
Who?
Me.
Oh.
Sam.
Oh,
never a hater. That's the wrong way of thinking of it.
Yes.
Never hated it. Don't even
Critical thinking.
I don't even hate 09. I don't hate anything, I don't think. What's the point in hating? You know? Hate's too far for me.
You hate me sometimes.
Especially when it's all fiction, you know? Like if a person comes and stabs your wife, you can hate them. That's real, you know.
Are you saying it's just a show? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm not saying it's not. It's not just a show, but it is just fiction. You know,
Gotcha.
It's a social phenomenon, and Clyde says only little. Again, disagree. I never try to hate on it. I just call out the good and the bad. But when they do bad things, you call out. They do good things, you call out. You know.
Spock versus Turok Dinosaur Hunter. That's a good one. Damn.
And also Robert Hayes says The Last Jedi. It's like, I hate The Last Jedi. It's like, no, it's just bad.
Sam hates lazy editing and effects. Yes, Jamal has it right.
No, see again, that's just funny. You know, it's like you cringe at Aft Nacelle. You know, you cringe at the stupidity of the people that did it. But it's you know, it is also funny because then you get to just enjoy the silly. Wow, shots across the bow there, Commander.
Good God, here we go.
It's just not a good movie.
I hate just because I hate some things, and I just say I hate it. And so I'm more of a hater than I think Samuel. At least he backs his stuff up with, like, words. I'm like, I hate it. No, I just hate it. Moving along. Next.
Yeah,
This is really good.
You're pure of feeling. You don't know why necessarily, but you feel the way you feel. You say it.
Yes.
And you don't want to dwell on it. Whereas I want to try and fix, even if I can't obviously fix anything that's being made. But it's like, is that always? You're
trying to give people an insight into your mind by saying how you would have fixed it or how you would have prevented it.
Yeah, because most of the time it's never about, we don't want to reboot Discovery, but there's things you could do to make subtle to medium changes that would make all the difference without ruining what it is to be Discovery. Because there's still lines in the sand that you can work within.
Yeah. Well, here's a relative thing that we should talk about to close out with. Mm-hmm. And it's by Richard Bishop. Says, everyone, which classic Spock scene would you like to see Peck play? I'd like to see him be remote controlled by McCoy, like it's in Spock's brain. I'm just kidding, of course. Probably the death scene.
No, he hasn't got that experience yet. I would like I say, give him 10 years, have him come back. I wouldn't want to give the actor that. I think that's too far. Maybe, okay, maybe play the alternate version of that whole thing, but have it be Pike, just because they have a relationship. Like how would Pike and Spock have that arena battle feel? Spock doing his weird things, not wanting to hurt him and stuff. I'm trying to think, of all the scenes, or maybe even just a simple end of episode, McCoy making fun of him and him giving as good as he gets. Sort of, let's see if he can make a trifecta, but have it be number one and Pike, because I wouldn't want them to see recast, the other two for the sake of it.
Well, Jamal says, I'd like to see him do Galileo 7 episode. That would be perfect. It's a great Spock moment.
Perfect. Yeah. Good episode. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, last super chat. Oh gosh. It was the last super chat of this live, guys. We're at the time. So yeah, last super chat we can go. We're at 209 likes. Still 210 people watching, which is awesome. Yes, Stuart.
And this chat went really well. I didn't think it would. I thought we would be running out of things to say within the first 40 minutes.
I got the pictures.
Well, yeah, but I thought we were going to talk about all the other Spocks, and this young Spock here in Star Trek 3 who had this little bit of a role. It's like, nobody, no. Well, this went really well. It went better than I anticipated. So,
yeah. Well, it's just visuals are really important because you can. That's the thing. You never normally analyze the way Trekyards does. How often do you go into an episode and really take it down, break it down, scene by scene, say, well, what does this look and this look? And so you can create whole new experiences just by looking at stills. It's interesting, it's interesting.
Let's really get Peck Nemoid and have Peck sing the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins. I think Quinto did that, actually.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
Renee puts in a super chat and says 2 talents on the Samuel.
Oh, let's have Quatlus, I guess.
Yes, well, that's what the currency works out to, about $2. So.
Oh, and you put in £1.50, or $2.30, or $3 Canadian. And guys, Indiegogo coming soon.
Yes.
From us.
That'll be a fun live to do the opening of that when we start it. I'll do a live about that, and then do some updates. But yes, cool stuff coming.
So tease. Oh, one more. You got the post.
Greg Ken puts in $2 Australian. Trekyards content request: the Dyson Sphere. Dun dun dun. Like full episode?
Guess so.
It's a good idea. I never would have thought of it, to be fair. So I'll write it down. Oh, Troy Macy puts it in $10. Sorry I'm late. Car troubles. Well, you missed a really good live. You need to go back and watch this one, Troy. But thank you very much for the super chat. Sorry about the car troubles. At least it wasn't car tribbles. Just saying. There are more likes than watchers now. Ooh. Who watches the watchers?
Well, when people disappear, you know.
This is when it's the best, when we're just kind of hanging out, just chatting. Generally. Yeah. Although Samuel looks bored because I'm boring.
I'm still just annoyed by Skype about how it's messed us around. Because I'm just like, I see the massive view with resolution that's gold,
but
and then
it's fixed on my end.
I know. Well, can I get your resolutions and?
Here, let me.
What are you doing? Are you showing your screen?
Yes.
Oh God. Okay, $10 for a super chat.
I can remember how to do
showing
it.
a screen. God, I have to do this on the fly, do I? Oh no, didn't do anything.
No, I know I didn't.
Then I don't need to tell you that. And yet I did. There's some. Oh. Well, that's wrong. This is like the post-credit sequence, isn't it? That no one asked for.
Yes. Yes. This is like sticking around till the end of a Marvel movie.
Yep. Well, we did stop right on time, so we have the few minutes of extra. So, Stuart, you're on the screen whenever you're ready to show us this visual.
Start sharing. Okay. There you go.
Oh.
I don't know how this is going to work, so. But can you see? It's right again. It's been fixed.
So now live on
Can't see
our
my
YouTube.
second monitor, can you?
So now we have live across the world Stuart's monitor via Skype, via screen share. And now there's several of me. Wow, this is awesome. There's like 4 me's. No, 5 me's.
It's fixed. You see how it's fixed?
Actually, there's 6 me's if you break it down. That's really funny. Oh,
there you go. Whoa, there. See.
Oh. And there we are. The epic conclusion. Stuart, let's blur our backgrounds just for dramatic effect. There we go. Just to kind of add some production value at the end there.
Hold on.
This is going great.
Oh shit. No. Oh, I'm losing it. All right, there we go. So you want me to blur my background?
Yes, the epic end.
Okay, there.
The epic end.
I should stop sharing too, right?
No, I want you to do full screen with your Skype window because I've got your screen full screen.
Why isn't this closing? How do I get rid of that?
It's at the bottom, I think. That. Oh wait, no, it isn't. Oh no, yeah, it's those 3 little blinds at the top that you selected.
This?
Nope, next to it. It's hidden. You have to go right a little bit. Yeah, that.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, guys. So because we're lagging, because Skype's lagging. Oh, and you also oh. Oh, this is great. This is going absolutely swimmingly, ladies and gentlemen. We are having technical problems because I'm now streaming via my PC, via Stuart's PC, via streaming via his screen share, via everything. It's a very complicated Skype procedure, but I'm still here talking to you live, and when Stuart reappears, we'll say our goodbyes. So you're getting a bonus time here. It's very confusing. Stuart? Hello? He's still not here. Hello? Hello, Stuart? Hello? Oh, I hear something. Hello?
Am I back yet?
Oh,
you
are.
You now.
I sort of vamped. Oh, and now I'm really...
Yeah, I heard something, and then you like froze and disappeared. And
now I'm very weirdly coloured on your screen. So yeah, Stuart, now this laggy, wonderful... Because we're going through multiple versions of the internet. So Stuart, let's say our goodbyes. So until next time, guys. He's Captain Foley.
He's Commander Cockings.
Yay! Oh no, yeah. Bye, guys.
It touched fingers. That's like.
Oh, okay. Well, this is very, 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 very laggy. Bye. Let's high five, Stuart. Ready?
Oh. Okay.
And 3,
Ready?
2, 1, go.
Oh. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.